Hello and welcome to Colleague 7's Sprint Review for 19.05.01. This will cover the work undertaken between the 30th of April to the 13th of May. Our sprint goal for this sprint has been to deliver the interface required to accommodate Power BI reporting within Colleague 7. Looking at the high-level items and to explain further, in this sprint we've been able to establish an interface which allows users to embed Power BI reports within Colleague 7. This includes the implementation of a data warehouse schema which supports faster performance and historical reporting options for Power BI. I'll give a demo on this functionality shortly. We've added the option to specify the history type when sending an email so that the logged history is assigned the history type of your choosing. As part of the back office project, we've added the timesheets tab to the contract placement record. This is the first phase of the development required in this area for timesheets and will be completed during the course of the next sprint. We've added the ability to search by alert levels. We've given users the ability to request read and/or delivery receipts when sending emails from Colleague 7. We've updated the options you have when saving a search. There's now a save as, save and rename option when managing saved searches. We've improved the candidate search from requirement feature so that it gives you the option to skills match based on all the skills or any of the skills from the requirement. As a carryover from the previous sprint, we've now investigated adding a spell checker to all text editors. This has grown into a review of the text editor itself and will continue over the course of the next sprint. And we've added an invoice address yes/no field to the company address records and updated the invoice address lookup to filter on this field. We'll now go through a brief demonstration on the key features from this sprint. Okay, so we'll start with what was the main sprint goal for this sprint, which was the introduction of embedded Power BI as an option within Colleague 7 for reporting. So this is essentially an ability to be able to set up a Power BI account with Microsoft, utilize our data warehouse to create Power BI reports, and we're in the process of building a standard set as part of that, and then essentially view those Power BI reports within Colleague 7 embedded. So if I start from the beginning within the admin area, let's go in here. We start with the fact that we've created a new reports section within the admin area. So we've got reporting settings here now. These are report settings for the other reports style. These were previously in the global settings area. We've just moved those so that they're in their own area now. We've got this new option that we've added for Power BI options, which is the ability to be able to specify a name of a report and then a URL, which is the embedded URL that you would allocate there, and that's the embedded URL that is generated automatically from Power BI, and we can always work with you in advising you how you get that UI. But essentially, what you're talking about is an option there where you can just add in different URL addresses in relation to the reports that you've got with Power BI, and those can then visually be seen within Colleague 7. And then within, we've moved report targets to within here. That area still requires some development in truth, but they've been this area has been added to the report section so that everything is in one area. And within user group permissions, we have two additional options that have been added in relation to Power BI. One is the ability to be able to, sorry, let me just find them quickly. Sorry, there's Power BI options and Power BI menu. So the Power BI menu option will dictate whether or not the Power BI option will appear in the left navigational menu, and the Power BI options access will dictate whether or not you can view these options that are available here within the admin area. So providing those are both set to full access, you'll have Power BI available here, and you obviously have Power BI available from the side there. So if I go to back to the screen here and just show you just conceptually what we've been able to do with some of the report designs. So obviously Power BI is utilizing different controls, different reporting methods that we can't utilize currently with the older school SSRS reportings that we've been able to deliver on, which we still plan on supporting and working with those reports. But this is obviously a different degree in terms of option that's available to you. So obviously you've got dynamic filtering in terms of being able to switch through sliders, through activity, and then that essentially affects almost immediately the data that you're seeing within the output. We've also got other options in there. So if we say select a column, it will highlight in the way that you can see them there, and you can drill down through to view charts based on activity. And again, this is just as an interface and as options to us for reporting. It's beyond what we've been able to offer through the SSRS reporting, because this is essentially an additional module that would be require a license through Microsoft with a Power BI Pro license. Give you some idea of some other report designs we've done. I'll look at monthly overview. Again, these are reports designs that we've done, but purposefully to just demonstrate what is possible. So from running placements, say, we can view the running placements against different users in the system and their associated placements, their associated revenue charts there that are giving you indications on associated revenue from running placements, and then obviously access to those. And we've added in the ability to be able to open those placements as well. So you obviously have the ability, just as you do with other reports, to be able to open the records, the associated records, when looking at information within these tables. Other options that we have within new placements is another example. Again, it's just building in other concepts that you have available to you from Power BI. So the ability to, from a geography perspective, highlight areas within the system or within the placements overview where those placements have taken place, selecting different users or all users in regards to the placements that have been made, and obviously those associated placements records listing again, and with again the same sort of dynamic slider interface available there. And more options will become available as we work on different Power BI designs, with a view obviously to them being embedded into the system in the way that you see here. There's also the option as well to open the reports in Power BI as well, so you can click on an option there, it open up Power BI, you log into Power BI, and then obviously you have access to that same report, but within the Power BI interface. But obviously the idea is to try and give you that unified interface so that it's accessible all within the Colleague 7 system. So that's the work that we've done with Power BI. If you are interested in knowing more about Power BI reporting and the options that can give to you, please contact the support team and we'll take things from there in terms of taking you through the options available to you. But as I mentioned briefly there, it is a solution that requires a pro license with Microsoft. That's kind of out of our hands in terms of requiring a pro license for Power BI. So that's a component as part of using this. But if you are interested in utilising reports of this nature within Colleague 7, please contact the support team and we'll take you through what the next steps are. The next point to cover is relation to the email form. So this is from a candidate record, but it could be from any record that has the email as an option from that entity. But off the email form now, you'll see that there's a minor UI change and a few options that have been added. One is the history type option now. So you now have the option to be able to select the history type that you want assigned in relation to the email. The default is obviously email out when you're sending an email, but we are aware that obviously you'll run campaigns with various different emails, and you might want to utilize different history types as part of doing that. So if in that event, you now have that option to do so, and that is the same from sending an email from a search result as it is from an individual record. What we've also added as well are read receipt and delivery receipt options as well. So you've got the option to request a delivery receipt or a read receipt or both as part of sending an email now. That's also a from a user setting and also a global setting. That's also a definable option as well that you can specify. System, and you can see there you've got default for read receipt function on email form, default for delivery function. So you can specify whether or not the default behavior should be to always request a read receipt or not. It will default to no if this is empty, but essentially you've got that ability now if you are prone to wanting to have a delivery receipt every time you send an email for confirmation. But those are two key updates in relation to the email form. The next point to cover is in relation to alert levels, or specifically the means to be able to search by alert levels now. So just as a quick summary on alert levels, when you're within a candidate record, a company record, or a contact record, off the view more option, you've got this option here of assigning an alert level, which is essentially the means to be able to put a banner across the top of the record and some default text associated to that alert. Those alerts are set within the admin area under alert settings, and you'll have there 5 different alert levels that you can assign, give them default text associated to them, associated text color and an alert background as well, sorry, font color and then a background color, and that will basically dictate then the alert that is shown within this area. What you can also do is change the alert text as well. So if you want to have something unique referenced in the alert, and obviously you can do that there. But what that's been there for a while, but what we haven't been able to offer up until now is the means to be able to search by that alert level. So what we now have within the search area, and this is for candidate, company, and contact, is an extra option now called alert criteria within here. So this will list your alert levels, and it will also offer you a free text search against the alert text for bespoke searching as well. So you can select the different alert levels, and it's going to find all the records that have had that alert level signed. Now, if you leave those blank and just search on the alert text, it's going to search all records for the bespoke alert text for that. But if you select specific alert levels and then you do that search, it's going to filter on the basis of that search. So obviously we have one that's alert level of in a placement, so you can see it went to 2 there. Take that one off, it goes to 1. So that's just the different options that you have now in there with regards to alert levels. If I just show description quickly or show result, you'll see those in there, and you can see the alert there with the different alerts that are showing through. So that's the key update that we made with regards to alert levels in this sprint. Staying with the search, the next point to cover is in relation to the different options we've added when you're saving a search now. So this is best demonstrated if I open up a previously saved search. I'll open up this example search result that I have saved here. So previously when you were saving a search result, you really had only one option, which was to save as an example, which is you would create a new search result from the save process. Whereas what clients are obviously looking for is an ability to be able to update an existing search result and it just update that search result. Also, we have the option now to rename a search result if we wanted to, and obviously we still have the save search as option there as well, which would create a new search result from the process. So the option to just save the search result now is there, and that won't mean creating another one. And if you want to create another one, you've got obviously a save search as there. If you open up a search result and you've not modified anything and you hit save search as, it's going to ask you if you want to do that because you've not changed any criteria. But if you hit yes on that, then it's obviously going to give you the ability to enter in a new search result and then just hit OK there, and it saves the search as it should. So those are the options that are now available. You've got the option to rename, to save, and obviously save search as. The final point to cover is in relation to the feature that's available from the requirement record to search for candidates. So on pressing search for candidates, you're given this option specifying the different criteria, whether or not you're doing on the basis of the skills against the requirement, matching it against candidates, or postcode, or both. But on the basis of either selecting skills only or skills and postcode, you're going to get this extra option now that's called skill match. And that basically says whether or not you're matching any of the skills against the requirements for the candidate, or you're matching all of the skills for the candidate requirement, and it's basically and or logic. So if we choose any skills as a demonstration and we hit OK on that, then it's basically going to look for candidates that have any of the skills that are associated with this requirement, which in this case, you can see it's doing all logic there and it's looking for those two skills. If we go back to that requirement and we do it on the basis of an and skill search, then we'll get slightly different results. So search for candidates, again, we'll do it on the basis of skills, and this time we'll say we want to match all the skills against the requirement and hit OK on that. Again, it will load the search. And the skill logic this time is an and based search that is done there. So you can see the results are different there because of the different type of skill criteria searching that it's done from that feature. So that's the update that we made there with regards to the candidate search from requirement. As always, if you have any queries or feedback, please get in touch. I'll be keen to hear from you. Also, for those using Colleague 7, feel free to submit your enhancement requests via the support team or directly to me using the above email address. The next video will be the sprint plan for 19.05.02, and as always, that will include a high-level overview on the items we intend to work on during that sprint. Thanks for watching.